Hi, and welcome to Copafina Wine Training. Today I'm so excited to take you through the beautiful region of Chile. There's so much to discover, so let's get started. Let's start with wine history. In 1521, Spaniards arrived in Mexico with país vines from the Canary Islands, and by the mid 1500s, the first vines were planted in Chile. Over the next few centuries, Chile was planting more and more vineyards and drinking domestic wines. At this time, they were still under Spanish rule, and because they were drinking more domestic wines, Spanish wine imports were actually cut by halves. So King Philip II of Spain banned any new vineyards in Chile. But thankfully, they didn't obey, and in 1818, they gained independence. In 1850, Chile gained its first commercial winery. The owner of this winery was very wealthy and had spent time traveling to France. He was inspired by the chateaux of Bordeaux and decided to bring the varietals back with him. Additionally, French varietals began their surgence in Chile in the 1900s post phylloxera, when European immigrants were coming into South America. The turning point was 1980 when Spaniard Miguel Torres brought stainless steel fermentation and modern winemaking techniques into Chile. So from 1990 to 2000, this was an amazing time for Chilean wine production. Acreage and production size doubled, export business was booming, there was tons of foreign investment, and new regions were pioneering premium winemaking. The DO system was created in 1995 and is most similar to the US appellation system. It follows the 75% rule for labeling. A wine must be 75% from a region, of a vintage, or a varietal to be labeled as such. When this system was created, they began to categorize locations and began with 6 main regions from north to south. Currently, Chile is the 7th largest producer in the world with 800 active wineries, about 12,000 producers, and 340,000 acres under vine, of which 3/4 of those are red grapes and 1/4 is white grapes. Chile's geography is like nowhere else in the world. It stretches for nearly 3,000 miles up the west coast of South America and is on average only 110 miles wide. In the north, you have the Atacama Desert, the driest place on the planet. To the east, you have the Andes Mountains, home to the tallest peak in the southern hemisphere, Mount Aconcagua. And to the south, you have the glaciers of Patagonia. And then on the west, you have the Pacific Ocean, where the Humboldt Current is constantly bringing cold, dry air onshore. In 2012, new geographical classifications were added to Chilean wine law. Prior to this, regions were divided from north to south. Now, additionally, they can be divided from west to east. There are 3 main regions from west to east: the coastal, central, and mountain subregions. Each one of them have different climate types and soils. Take a look at these graphs here. The picture on the left is the size comparison of the length of Chile to the length of the United States. As you can see, Chile is much longer. So as you can imagine, there are many different microclimates within Chilean subregions. However, the picture on the right is showing the wine growing regions from Elqui to Mayeco is about the same as Northern California to Southern California. Chile's 6 regions from north to south are Atacama and Coquimbo, Aconcagua, Central Valley, and Sur and Austral. In the far north, you have Atacama and Coquimbo, which occupies about 20% of Chile's landmass and is home to the driest place on earth. Viticulture is only possible here due to irrigation from rivers in the Andes Mountains. Grapes here are mostly used for pisco or table wine. Then you have Aconcagua, which lies in the foothills of the Aconcagua Mountain and is located in a valley carved out by the river of the same name. This region yields some of Chile's most coveted Bordeaux-style blends. Next, you have the Central Valley, which is home to a very famous subregion, the Maipo Valley, and Chile's oldest wineries are located here. In the Central Valley, Cabernet Sauvignon is king. Then you have the far south, which was once the center of Chilean wine industry. Therefore, you can find Old Vine Pais down here. As enthusiasm for cool climate viticulture grows, this region is expected to do great things. Here, you can see regions broken down into subregions and zones. Copafina has wineries from the following subregions: Casablanca, Maipo, Rapel, Curico, and Itata. Now that you know about the geography of Chile, its history, its wine laws, and all of its regions, let's talk about their major varietals. Cabernet Sauvignon is still king with nearly a third of all plantings, followed by Sauvignon Blanc, Payés, Merlot, Chardonnay, and Carmenere. Other varietals are on the rise, and there is no limit to what they can produce. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something and are ready to explore Chile. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, Lauren at copafina.com.